Okay, now maybe you can see me. Maybe. I've never done it this before this way. Anyway. Oh, why? Stop. No, do that. There, stop that. Okay, here we go. Um, I apologize. I've been talking to all of you thinking that you can hear the words that I'm saying, not realizing that whatever, because the timing just worked out that, like, I pushed the start button and Emily said my name, so I assumed you could all see me and failed to realize that that was not actually the case. So, I am not trying to be on all of those things at the same time. I am open to the possibility of those things. So historically, the way my birthday stream has gone is that I tend to be on YouTube for a while, and then when we actually like cut cake, we sing happy birthday on not YouTube, on Discord, and then on and Zoom is now a thing that everybody uses for stuff. And so now that we're all friends and we can keep in touch with each other by looking at each other's faces as like a normal thing that people do, I added a link. So I am not intending to be on Zoom or Discord at the moment. For the moment, it's just all of you talking and me being here because that's the important thing. Yeah, well, the moving to the site where I take my pants off doesn't usually happen on my birthday because I'm too drunk. Usually what happens on my birthday actually is the people across the street have a birthday party as well because there used to be someone who lived there who had the same birthday as me. It's actually a couple days later, but they always had a party. So the anarchist house would always have a party on my birthday weekend. So I would do YouTube and then I would get really drunk and then I would walk across the street in my pajamas and go party at Lantern House. But like it's not the case that in general that has been the case recently. So hello James and Jess and Jeff and Gaming Lawyer and Yuri and Lynn and everybody. So there is no, and Colin, and there is no Zoom for now, but there may be Zoom later, and I don't know. I'm waving my hands a lot. I feel like I keep seeing, like, I'm just so not used to this anymore. Like, now I'm always used to, like, you know, being, it's funny because I'm on video way more now than I used to be, because, like, especially, I've worked in a remote team for the past, like, 2 years now. And for a while I was on a small remote team, so there's only 5 of us, and we all just had video chat units next to our desk. So I always have like the screen that is looking at me, but I'm so not used to like having streaming going on and anything else like that. So, yeah, so it is fine and not necessarily expected that Zoom will be a participatory thing for people. I wasn't sure, and so I just set up a meeting so I had one around in case I decided to do that. So, hello, Aurora. Gaming Lawyer, I do not think that no matter how drunk you get, you should go to the beach. I just to be clear, like one of the number one concerns about spreading a virus right now is all of the people who are in Florida sharing that virus among themselves at spring break and are going to come back to wherever they live, and they're going to have a lot of people doing that. So, wait, Jessica S. Oh, it is. I was like so confused. I'm like, wait, Jessica S. I know a Jessica S, but she doesn't go by Jessica S. And then I've got Jess Sheehan, who's like a different person, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so yeah. I think that like now I'm so confused. I'm so confused, but I got it. I know who it is. I got it now. I am having it's been a long week. Um well, this is the thing. Like apparently I know too many Jess S's, so um yeah, it's like so one of the things that I've mentioned about this, like people keep freaking about it, like this, like people who don't live in Boston, they're like, oh, like what were these biogen people doing? Like why are all these people like, you know, why does everybody know somebody who is a biogen? I'm like, but Boston is not that big of a community. Like we are all like, especially the tech scene, but even the non-tech scene in Boston is like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, the speed run. Like you want six, like everyone in Boston is like, here are the 4 people from wherever that all like, you know, Boston is just this far. Yes, that is correct, Dan. We are all just chatting here and watching Chris talk. Now, this is how you get how it works. However, now that there's some people here, I can grab alcohol and then we can all drink together. So, just a second. This is all we do. As I was saying, like, I'm used to this now because there's usually a screen, but then, like, I had to push buttons here. It wasn't just automatic. I am wearing pants. It's true. 20% of us is in the chat right now. But yeah, so this is how I have spent my birthday for the past, like, 4 years, is like drinking and playing video games and hanging out and chatting. The cat does not want any alcohol right now, but I'm starting with a UFO white, which is easy on me. It's true. It is true that most of us are not actually in Boston, but Boston is a bigger circle. Yeah. Anyway, tools I have available to me. As I said, Zoom exists. I have a meeting set up so we could all like get in chat on Zoom if we wanted to. So if people are like, I want to see you face to face so I can drink, then that's a thing. But if you want to just hang out and chat and drink, that's also a thing. And I'm happy to just be here and hang out and hey, well, have you not learned that notifications don't work for YouTube? Come on now. Is there cake? There is cake. Yes, there is cake at this party. We'll cut birthday cake in about an hour when I have not had too much alcohol to start the fire that goes with it. But there will be cake. I hear some people are bringing their own cupcakes. I have a birthday cake right here, which I picked up via curbside pickup, appropriate social distancing tool, thanks to our local bakery that I have always gotten baked cakes at. Party Favors. So they have expanded to now have curbside pickup for their deliveries. I have Thin Mints as well. But yeah, the cake is from Party Favors over in Brookline, which is where my wife and I have been buying cakes for many, many years at this point. And I can't open it because I didn't actually bring up a knife, which is going to be a problem later. But that's, yeah. So I actually do have the happy birthday cake here. So yes, there will be cupcakes and all kinds of things. So yes, frosting balloons and so on and so forth. So yes, I have a happy birthday cake. It is delicious, and it's vanilla because I like vanilla cake. I actually bought myself 2 birthday cakes this year. I have a chocolate birthday cake, which I bought because my wife and daughter like chocolate cake, and then I have a vanilla birthday cake, which was just for me. So this one is 100% my birthday cake. So yeah, it's been a long week. It's been a long couple weeks. I actually started working from home before everyone started working from home. My first day, I was like, I am not going back to the office because I read all these like terrible articles about like Italy and everything else like that, like a week and a half, like, you know, before, like 3 days before everyone else. I've always said I'm 3 days ahead of the curve on everyone. Like I emailed my therapist last Thursday and I was like, hey, you know, Laz, like, do you want to go to like telehealth? Do you want to go to like digital meeting rather than meeting in person on Thursday? And he was like, no, I'll be in the office. You can come in or we can do this if you want, whatever, but I'm going to be there. And then on Saturday afternoon, he emailed me back and he was like, actually, I've changed my mind on that. So, yeah, so Brad would be farther away. I know, like, well, so being 3 days ahead, it turns out is not. I did not predict the stock market would drop like it did. I understand in hindsight, like realizing that the entire country was going to shut down. Actually, you know what? The problem is I don't hold any stocks. Like I have a 401k, but whole point of my 401k is I don't look at it. Like the point of a 401k is not to treat it as a day trading thing. And I have a special experience with that because that's actually an experience that I watched my parents go through. My dad worked for Lucent and he had invested a bunch of his, as far as I understand, a bunch of his retirement accounts into Lucent stock. And like was really excited that it would go up, and you know he had all this like savings and everything else like that. Now those of you who know Lucent well enough know that Lucent stock is no longer a thing that has a lot of value, and so I have like dealt with family who have watched their entire retirement account dwindle from, you know, because Lucent went from like $70 a share to like $2 a share which it turns out that if you take your retirement account and you divide the number that's in it by 35, it doesn't go well. So don't do that. So 401k is very much like put it in the Vanguard 2050 fund, hope that I retire someday, and never, ever, ever look at it or touch it. So other than that, I don't own any stocks. Like I have debt. I use my money to pay off debt instead. So the only thing that I have is like my Google shares that auto sell, and I'm looking at them going like, well, that's going to be less money when that auto sells. So Brad is okay. He has issues with VPN. So he and I talked, and he's going to try and get on the Latvian server to get here. So Brad is our friend who lives in Shanghai, China. And Shanghai, am I saying that right? I think so, yeah. Who's going to be trying to join us maybe, but hello, Stingray! Yeah, overall, China is in relatively good shape. Like, part of it is still locked down, but he's like, yeah, no, things are normal for me. Like, he was out at the bar the other night when he was talking to me, so, I'm not 2 sips in, I'm like 5 sips in. Oh yeah, he needs it for everything. Hello, Damien! Hi, Julie. Yeah, so, like, he's, yeah. But yes, Mindstalk, another live journal / stream with person. See, like, all of us, all these people I knew. It's funny, actually, I went back at one point, and I was reading back an old, like, Davis Square comment thread from, like, 5 years ago or something like that. And I was like, oh, look, I know all these people now because, like, I work with them, so... So I did not have my beer delivered. Today was my quarantine stock up. So I have been for several weeks. Hello, Gabe. Welcome. So for several weeks I have been like, for like a week now, I have been like, okay, I'm not gonna go to the grocery store. Like, I don't want to go out all the time, but I am going to have to go at some point. So today I went out and I spent like $170 on various supplies and everything else like that. And then went to Whole Foods and picked up a bunch of beer. So I did my best to minimize. Oh my God, the grocery stores are so full. I'm like, what? Like, I was like, oh, like, I literally, like, I actually waited because I know they've been doing a bunch of things in the morning, which are for seniors and other stuff like that, like early bird, only seniors come. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna go in the middle of the day. But I forgot nobody's working. Like the tea is down 85%, so nobody is working in the middle of the day. And like, I've never been to a supermarket as full, except Trader Joe's, but it was full of people. And I was like, I don't know what the peak times are. Yeah. So like, no. So the Trader Joe's, I drove by the Trader Joe's. This was both in Alston. So I drove by the Trader Joe's in Alston. Oh, thank you, Judy. My Aunt Judy, stopped by and couldn't figure out how to say hi. But anyway, yeah. So the grocery store, I went to the grocery store and I'm sure it does, but yeah, so I drove by Trader Joe's and they literally have people lined up every 8 feet outside the store. But the Star Market was not doing that at all. The Whole Foods was not doing that at all. The Whole Foods at least did have the cart people were like standing there with like sanitizer to like wipe the carts off as they put them back. But yeah, so like, I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do. So yeah, we had, overall, I found, I think almost everything I was looking for. I would have bought more soup, but they ran out of soup that I wanted, like the chicken noodle soup that Jess eats. So overall, it was a pretty decent experience, but I was like trying to just like, I'm staying away from people. Like, but yeah, so like if you look at the overall, was it MBTA on track, right? So like this, like the ridership on the T is like way down. So like all of these people who normally ride the TN, like most of them aren't going to work. Like everyone, like anyone who works in a restaurant has been laid off. Anyone who works in, all of these places has been laid off. So it's like, okay, well, I mean, I guess that is what it is. I'm supposed to start coughing on people. I don't know that I'm not. I don't know if I'm sick. Like, I would cough on people to get them to go home, but I don't know. Like, I might be sick. So, we should close some streets to cars. We should close some streets to cars forever. Ban cars. No, that's I don't know. Things are hard. I mean, the other thing is that, like, now it's like, well, you can't take the T anywhere because there's crowds on the T. I am appreciative that they at least, like, they went back, they gave Blue Line more trains so that it wasn't so crowded and everything. So, yeah. So anyway, what am I? Barter's down 90%. Yeah. So the MBTA tried to limit their schedule, but they like failed to kind of pay attention to the fact that like the Blue Line like had barely gone down at all. Like, so on Tuesday they tried to cut down the Blue Line, but you see, like, on the 16th the Blue Line was not really much reduced. So I it has gone down now. I don't know if they've gone back to just one a day or whatever. So everyone wants to make bread. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who are like stress baking. So yeah, that makes some sense. Anyway, should I play a game? Anybody want to? I'm gonna play a game. We're gonna play Binding of Isaac. Isaac and his mother. Why do I not hear? Usually there's sound. Why is there no sound? Is there no sound? Yeah, there's no sound. What did I do wrong? I hate this game's author's name. What have I done wrong? Why am I hearing nothing? One moment. Well, I heard me earlier. That's right. If I talk like this, do I hear myself? Yeah, so that I hear that. Oh, because I have the sound turned way down. No. Well, that's annoying. Why is... Oh, but Isaac isn't... Alright, one moment, please. Yeah, so one of my friends is a doctor. She's like a doctor in training in Sweden and is very like freaked out at the Sweden level at this point. Okay, now we got sound. Is that loud? I feel like that's a little bit loud. We'll turn it down a little bit. See, again, I haven't streamed in so long. Okay. Okay, so we'll do the Binding of Isaac daily. Anyway, so this game is a roguelike game based on, initially on the original Legend of Zelda. So you'll recognize kind of this whole setup of having four exits to a room, north, south, east, west, if you've ever played the original Legend of Zelda. And it's kind of a fun, oh, hi Nick, hi Jen, hi everybody. Yeah, well, so live streaming is up hugely, I think, for obvious reasons. People all out there getting it done. One of the worst moms in video games. It's true. It's true. But yeah, so my goal is to, well, realistically my goal is not to die, but in theory my goal is to kind of come through here and like kill things and pick up items. It's like a random item generation and so on and so forth. And yeah, so each item gives you different abilities. You can speed up your shots or increase your damage or so on and so forth. And then you can, it has a daily challenge every day so that you can kind of compare yourself to others. Let's see. So that's shot speed up. I'll re-roll that. All right, that is better. Cool. Thank you so much, Gabe. Have a good one. Phoenix, you would have to change your name, like your Google account name. Like, you can't just change your name in the chat, so. The answer is probably you don't want to. If you do want to, there's probably a button somewhere to do it, but I don't know where it is because I don't want to. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, right now, I am positive that there's a whole bunch of people at Google whose entire job is trying to stay ahead of keeping the internet working, and it's hard. I know that Netflix just turned down their bitrate on their video streams, which is... That's one of those things that I remember discussing at one point at YouTube, like, is this ever a thing that we would do? And I remember feeling like, well, I can't think of a situation where that would happen, but a global pandemic that keeps everyone inside for, you know, weeks at a time feels like it would actually do that. It just wasn't a scenario that we were really prepared for back in my day at YouTube, so I'm sure people smarter than me had various thoughts, but there's a lot of ways in which, you know, I've always been really appreciative of the level of kind of thoughtful disaster preparedness that Google does for things, but I have to admit that I think that most people at Google did not prep for this case, where like the entire country is on lockdown effectively, is just like, it's hard to kind of imagine that. It's also unclear that this is, I don't know, it's complicated and I don't want that item, I want this item, sure. Okay, cool. Spelunky Daily next. I'm terrible at Spelunky. Yeah, YouTube Player is pretty good. I think the Netflix it seems, I mean, Netflix has always done things, has always targeted quality over, because they have this like idea that they should just like pause and buffer like up to 5 minutes of video. So which has never been, like, YouTube has always been trying, because YouTube is a lot of short form video watches, like it doesn't make sense to optimize for you really want the best quality, because that's not how people use it. Like, people want the videos to load quickly, and Netflix has never really optimized for the same thing. So it's an area where I expect that Netflix is now dealing with like expectations that made sense before that don't anymore. I expect that they're also dealing with ISPs who are cranky at them and are like, we need the capacity however we can get it, like please give us whatever you can, and other things like that. So I mean, I think that it's just really just the services were set up differently, so there's different incentives and things they're gonna try and do. So all right. Oh, take care, Jen. Thank you. Thank you. I miss you too. I appreciate you stopping by. And you got to see people and be like, hello. But yeah, I suppose that for some of my friends, they didn't really get the idea of like hanging out in chat while I play games is what this is. But I appreciate folks who stopped by and had a drink with me and said hi no matter what. And it really makes, it's better. It's better. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna go in here. Uh-oh. Okay, spiders, and what's this? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I didn't really want that either. Okay, Sokas. But yeah, I don't know. The internet's gonna be hard for a while. Everything's gonna be hard for a while. I just hope we figure out ways to get through this, because I miss you all. So far I've been pretty okay. Like in life, my issues have much less been about being trapped in the house, because I'm pretty much a homebody anyway. Like, yes, I'm doing a little bit more being at home than usual, but because Jess deals with so many illnesses and stuff like that, like I very much have to limit my time out of the house anyway. So that's not a huge deal for me. I've done, you know, months of working at home 4 or 5 days a week, etc. But for me, it's really just that the world is sad. Like, I look at all the stuff that's going on and I'm like, you know, my friends are sad. You know, people are losing jobs, the economy is going to shit, like we're entering a great recession / depression, and I really hope that we find ways to kind of do whatever we can to do that, as well as obviously mitigating like the terrible potential badness of like deaths and so on and so forth. But I just want the world to be happier again. It's not just about being trapped in my house. It's about being trapped in my house and everything is sad. It is so weird to me, this TP thing. I definitely went, because I went to Star, and I went to Whole Foods, and I went to Rite Aid, and all of them are completely out of TP, and I'm like, what is the motivation there? Like, I really don't get it. Like, what are you afraid of? Yeah, I'm sad too. That sucks, because I was looking forward to my trip. I haven't been out to Mountain View in ages, so... My Blue Apron meal, they had to change one of my meal options for this week because they had such high demand, apparently. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. Oh yeah, as far as cooking lots of zucchini, I am still cooking. So I did, my goal for last year was to cook an average of 1 meal a week. I ended up cooking 82 meals last year, so I did successfully beat my goal. I'm now up to typically cooking like 2 to 3 meals a week without a problem. I have not really had the energy to since I started the since like, you know, quarantining / self-isolating. I've definitely been like, I keep looking at the kitchen and I'm like, ugh, I just can't right now. So I've been doing a lot of like sandwiches and mac and cheese and other stuff, but been keeping up with cooking for the most part, been making good progress on that, and I'm pretty happy with that. My goals for this year ended up being that I want to work more on organizing my house. So I did actually in the basement get some shelves set up and get some storage going down there, so... Yeah, I mean, I don't, whatever, like, they're dealing with situations they've probably never dealt with before, so I'm not really very stressed about it. I think it's just gonna be... There's a lot of things, I keep telling my wife, like, you're gonna have to learn to not eat just... Oh, friggity frick, I've been meaning to do that. You're gonna have to learn to eat things that aren't just your favorite food for the next little while. Like, this is gonna be a problem for you. Because she tends to be a picky eater, so... Blue Apron Gold. But yeah, I definitely can understand the desire for more. My deliveries are on Mondays usually. Oh, interesting. So it's not just people buying a lot, it's that they actually don't keep a lot. Okay, so that makes sense. That actually is an explanation that makes sense to me. Like, TP, they just don't keep a lot, so when people are buying more of anything, TP is what runs out first. Okay. I see now. That's great. Like, that makes me feel much. Like, maybe it's, even if it's not true, it's a totally sensible explanation. Is because, like, it's not that people are buying a lot more TP than anything else. It's that the TP stock is much lower. Like, overstock is just lower. And that's why that's the thing. Because there's a whole lot of things that are out, to be clear. Like, you know, as someone said, like, there's not a lot of bread. There's not a lot of, like, a whole bunch of stuff. So, hey, look, I got an angel. Cool. Oh, these are the relocking things, I think. Do I have any keys? I can open this one more time. Oh, that's it. Okay. Normal pasta shapes. Yeah. So, like, there's a whole bunch of things that are like, okay, this is just out, and, like, so it goes. But TP is the one that is less, there's less. Okay. Yeah, so I think I got, like, the last, strawberry Pop-Tarts that were on the shelf, for example, which is something which again, like, you know, it's not that strawberry Pop-Tarts are like, oh, everyone must have them. It's just that, like, I just happened to get the last ones on the shelf, so. And, like, the big box was out as well, so. But yeah, and it definitely makes sense that, like, TP is just big and bulky and not worth keeping a whole bunch of on hand. And this is the problem with, you know, just-in-time deployment chains that kind of fall apart when there's an unusual circumstance, so hopefully we can react to that and adjust somehow. I was just amazed at, like, how, because I'm just used to, like, even when stores are out of things, it's often the case that, like, everyone will be like, oh, my store is out of things, and I look, I'm like, you know what, there's like 7,300 grocery stores in Boston, there's never anything that everyone is out of at the same time. It's bulky, so the problem with it, I would expect, would be, like, wind resistance. Like, you can't really do bulky packages in drone deployment. Also, you can't, like, drone delivery is such a, like, niche thing. Like, I don't know. I love the idea, don't get me wrong. Like, as a drone person, you know, it's something I get excited about in theory, but in practice, like, is drone delivery really a thing that we need? I don't think so. Get out of here. Yeah, so condoms are super expensive per volume of space or whatever, so I expect that they've got plenty of those in stock. I never really looked, but I'm a drone person. I'm a like you didn't know that my like I have a viral video where like a hawk attacked my drone. Yeah, like, not an eagle, it's a hawk. Hawk versus drone. Here we go. So this is back in 2014. It's now 6 years ago. Yeah, so this hawk just comes and like knocks my drone out of the sky. Like jerky hawk. Like I saw him on the other side of the you know way, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna turn around and fly away, and he's like, no 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 no, we're gonna knock you out of the sky. Pow. Great camera work. Like yeah. So right, like I'm flying my drone and I see this hawk like over here in the left-hand corner. You can't see my mouth. I guess that's why I have my cursor on for this. Did you break? What the hell? Hold on. Sorry. Fixing. That's not the right thing. Ein Moment. I cannot read. There we go. Yeah. So like over here, why are you still not capturing my cursor? Oh yeah, over here I saw the hawk, so I'm like, okay, he's flying over there, I'm gonna leave him alone, I'm gonna turn away and like fly the other way, and then he's like, no no no, we're gonna take care of this. No, I only got the hate mail once. Yeah, so this is also the only time I've received death threats on the internet was because of this video. Because my video ended up, because of some bullshit that a like South Korean TV station did, ended up taking down Joe Rogan's podcast. And so he had to like re-upload it. And let me tell you, there is nothing more upsetting nothing that will upset like a Joe Rogan podcast fan more than the idea that they'll have to wait like an extra 2 hours for his podcast apparently. And so like I had people who are like, I hope you get ass cancer and die for taking down Joe Rogan's podcast, which by the way I didn't do. Like, one, he like totally infringed my copyright, but I didn't care, I didn't do it. And he like, you know, so ended up taking down my video, or, you know, ended up taking down his podcast. And I sent an email back saying like, it wasn't me. Like, this is just a thing that happened because of someone else's fault. Like, I'm happy to work with Joe and like challenge this or whatever I can do to help. And this person who told me to get ass cancer and die was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was Content ID. So I've said like, you know, YouTube's Content ID is the only system that will make monstrous trolls on the internet apologize. So yeah. Anyway, I can't put a copyright claim on myself because I don't have Content ID. So I think, yeah, I don't know. But this is also the reason, like, Hawk vs. Drone is one of the, because I worked at YouTube at the time, and I had this conversation with the, I am so gonna die. And I had this conversation with the Content ID abuse team about like the negative impacts to me from this experience. They actually like they implemented new features to allow people to like keep their money during Content ID disputes, which they previously had not done. And one of the like motivating use cases for that was this like 7-page long document about my terrible experiences. So so that Korean TV station no longer has access to Content ID after that particular experience. I had a couple, like, they made a claim and they got yelled at. And then, like, a week later, I went and I was on the local, like, CCTV show. It was called the Psychic Fashion Hour. Psychic Fashion Show. And we played the clip on the Psychic Fashion Show, and then I uploaded it and I got another Content ID claim. And after they made another claim, like 2 days after getting yelled at by the Content ID abuse team, they were like, you know what? You don't get Content ID anymore. So they no longer have Content ID because they screwed with the wrong guy. Ow. I am dead. This is it. This is the end. Everyone prepare for me to die. I'm dead. Yeah. But yeah, so I am not like a fan of drones in like the Obama like droning Israelis or whatever sense. Iranians, Iraqis, whatever. The whole Middle East has been droned, I'm sure. But I am a drone fan insofar as like quadcopters have been a thing that I've been pushing and talking about for a really long time. So Yemen, there you go. Yemen. I have done first-person drone flying. Never on my own equipment. So when I went out to Mountain View, I went to Baylands, which is the big like field near there that everyone flies at. And I got to fly this guy's plane, and he not only had like first-person view on it, he also had like head tracking, so I could like turn my head and the drone, like the camera would like follow my head. So I like flew this plane like a mile away and I could like look all over the place. It was so cool. Yeah. Anyway, hunger for drone. Yeah. So, thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. So this is my birthday, so we do whatever I want. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock was the time I had in mind for birthday cake. I do have a problem, which is that I did not grab a knife or a plate because I'm not very smart. So let's do this. Where, oh, where has my mini VODs gone? Oh, where have they gone? And we'll put on a little story. And while we put on a little story, I will go and grab a knife. Let's see. We haven't heard the Pop-Tart story for a while. Let's talk about the Pop-Tart story. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Why is that not working? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a thing, and it's gonna be a boo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo. Just a moment. Pop-Tarts. Okay. I don't know if I've told you this story before, but it's one of my favorites, sort of. Certainly one I've told a lot. So when I worked at Metacarta, Metacarta was the first kind of company I worked for a long time. I worked for them for 4 years before we were acquired by a startup, and it was my second real job. I had a real job before that, working for a marketing design firm, and then I worked at Metacarta. And I'd worked there for a couple of years, and from 2006 2008, and I was doing pretty well, and worked out pretty well. I worked for the CTO. I had a pretty good relationship with the CEO. Small startup, there's like 50 people total, but it was like 20 engineering people, whatever. And so in 2008, like February, they're doing this trip. And it's a trip that happens every year in February, but previously it had only happened for the salespeople. So it'd been a sales trip that salespeople would go, and they were the best salespeople would go, and they'd get rewarded with like a trip to a golf course in Florida or whatever, the President's Club trip. And there have been some pushback from the rest of the company saying like, well, these salespeople get a trip, but we're not really rewarding the engineers or other people. And so they decide, okay, well, we will invite one person from each department to go along on this trip. And so, from engineering, which was like 20 people, they invited one person. From the from the CFO's office, which was like 4 people, they invited one person. From the content sales department, I don't remember exactly what it was, they invited one person. From the CTO's office, they invited one person, and there's only 3 of us in the CTO's office. So I was the one person in the CTO's office, which is great. It was an all expenses paid trip to the Cayman Islands for you and your spouse. And I was like, okay, like that's cool. I appreciate it. For sure, I'll take that. And of course, there's a little bit of jealousy from the rest of the people, right? Like, so I know the people who went, and they're all good people. They're all like, but when 25 engineers work in the office and 3 or 2 get to go, that's a little bit weird, right? So we went, and I mean, it's not like it's my choice, right? I got offered. It's not like I could say no, send this other person instead. That wasn't really an option. So I went, and it was a ridiculously swanky, all expenses paid, hotel right on 7 Mile Beach and everything else like that. Everything was paid, $100 per diem at the hotel. We went out to restaurants and went scuba diving and took a sailboat across the bay and all this stuff, like a awesome, incredible trip, like absolutely incredible trip to the Cayman Islands. Really. Unfortunately, when we got back, money started to kind of be tight. So we originally, like in July, we got back. It was in February. The trip was in February, and we got back, and like 3 months later, they were like, okay, we're no longer paying for the Pop-Tarts in in the kitchen, in the cat, like we had snacks, and we can't afford it. We're not paying for that anymore. And then like 6 months later, they actually had to lay like a third of the company off. So a swanky all expenses paid trip for a whole bunch of people. Now, when I said there were only 4 engineers that went, I kind of missed the key point here, because although there were only like 3 or 4 engineers that went, there was a lot of salespeople that went. So it was, you would think they have one person from each department. They have one person from engineering, one person in the CTO's office, one person in the CFO's office, one person from sales, finance, or not finance, sales, federal, Northeast, one person from Sales Federal Southeast, one person from Sales Federal Southwest, one person from Oil and Gas Northeast, one person from Oil and Gas. So it was like 4 engineers and 16 sales guys, plus the CEO and 8 members of his family on this trip that the company was paying for. And ridiculous extravagances, like, on the Cayman Islands, everything is in the Caymanian dollar, which is pegged to 125 times the US dollar. So everything seems a little bit cheaper than it might otherwise be, but you've still got the fact that everything's on an island, so it's ridiculously expensive. So one of the things they did there was, the bottle tequila they were serving at the, luau that they had for the employees was too cheap. So they had to buy a bottle of Patron instead, which at that time, a bottle of Patron on the island at a resort with bottle fee and everything else like that was $650. It was ridiculous. And so some coworkers of mine much later went back and said, like, that must have been, like, that was a $300,000, $400,000 trip, somewhere in that range by the time you all is said and done. And then we fired people a couple months later and took away the Pop-Tarts only 3 months later. And so at dinner many years later, so later that CEO was kind of replaced with the person who was the chairman of the board at the time, and he took over and led us through the transition to where we were acquired. And so like the person who was the chairman of the board during this trip became my kind of manager or director at Nokia. And at some point we're out at dinner and talking to some people from another office at Nokia, and I was talking about like the most ridiculous experiences I ever had, the most ridiculous like trip or whatever you ever went out to, talking about kind of, we were at this kind of fanciest place. And I said, I mean, this is nothing compared to the trip that Metacarta paid for, where we went to the Cayman Islands. And my director / former CEO said, what do you mean? I said, well, the trip where Metacarta paid for all of us to go to the Cayman Islands, like that we went there with our spouses, all expenses paid. And he like looked at me like kind of askance, like, what are you talking? I said, the trip, you were the chairman of the board, you knew about that trip, right? He said, you're lying. He didn't believe me. This trip happened while he was the chairman of the board, and he had no idea that a company that couldn't afford Pop-Tarts 4 months later spent probably $250,000 to $300,000 sending a whole bunch of engineers on an all-expenses-paid trip to the Cayman Islands. And so when my boss came back from he was off at the time, and I said, Ken, tell Don, we went to the Cayman Islands. And Ken goes, yeah, we went to the Cayman. You didn't know we went to the Cayman Islands? And Don was like, I had no idea. And he said, yeah. And Mike, who was an engineer who didn't get to go, was sitting there and saying, yeah. And then they came back and they took my Pop-Tarts away. And so the next day, Don walks in carrying 2 grocery bags full of Pop-Tarts. And he takes them to Mike's desk and he sets them there. And he said, I can't fix what happened before, but at least I can give you Pop-Tarts now. So that story's always been one of my favorites. I don't know if I've told you this story
now I gotta
before,
figure out how to stop this.
It's one of my
there we go. Button.
favorites.
Nope,
that
was the wrong thing.
Certainly one I've told a lot.
Here. There we go. Well, no, I want to finish this one. Okay. Yeah, isn't that a great story? Isn't it? It is. I love that story. I did get old super fast. Okay, so here's my birthday cake. So I'm 36 years old today. This is actually live right now. As a big cupcake. It is 36 candles. There's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 36 candles. The booze is... There is no booze at the moment, so we're fine. Okay, actually, here's what we're going to do. Do people want... So here's the thing. Like, what I should have you do is I'll join something and sing happy birthday, because that's, like, otherwise I'm just going to be singing happy birthday to myself, and that doesn't work. So if you would do something like Zoom or Discord, if you pick one, which one would you like to do to sing happy birthday, or should I just put happy birthday song? Someone say Zoom or Discord, whichever one you want. Zoom, Zoom. I don't have Discord. Okay. I think some people at least have Zoom, so we'll do that. I think so I think that if you follow, there's a link. Hold on, I got to find my thingy. If you edit, so I think if you follow, there's this link. If you follow that, I think this takes you to the web client. Nope, that didn't work. Ignore what I just said. So this should take you to a page. And I'm going to cancel something, and then I'm going to click here, and I'm going to cancel it again, and I'm going to join from your browser. So I think this link, there we go. That link should get you into the Zoom even from a browser. Now, let's see if I can get this to work. I don't know how software works. Hey, people! Yay, okay, I can hear people too. Thank you for coming, Jess. Have a good one. ABC Zoom. ABC Zoom is me. Thank you for coming, Jess. Have a good one. All right. ABC Zoom is me. I'm gonna turn off this for the moment. I can't turn my video on because I only it's brought. You can only use a video camera in one place at a time, and I am using the camera. Maybe I can turn on the other camera. Maybe that works. Nope. Maybe I push this button. There we go. Now you can see me. I'm muted now. Am I muted now?
Hello.
Hi. I'm not
All right.
muted.
Now
You
you're
can hear
hearing
me.
voices?
Yeah, you were, yes, you were muted at the moment because you were getting echo from me. So whatever. Now you're not.
Well, okay.
Anyway, so now there's a bunch of people. There's people like, hello, people. Look, oh, look, you have cupcakes. So Lena has cupcake here.
I'm holding up a candle. I don't have candles to put in the cupcake, but I got cupcakes.
All right. Is there anybody who's on the Zoom who's like, don't show my camera on the stream?
No, it would have like a blank square for them and say like ABC Zoom like it had for you.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you don't want to be on stream, turn off your camera. There you go. That's the thing I was trying to say. Window capture. Do a thing. Zoom. Zoom. Nope, that's the wrong one. Zoom. Nope, that's the wrong one. How, like, what is this window titled? Zoom meeting, ID, blah, blah, blah. Why does that not? Why,
I don't know why it doesn't have your birthday thing on it, but
why is that capture the wrong thing? See what I'm seeing? It's dumb. Zoom. No.
Why can I not see everybody else?
See, computers are bad. We should just not have computers.
No, so like, oh, you know what? Zoom is doing like better than I'm used to.
You have the gallery view on?
But even with the gallery view, it's like, so Zoom. I'm actually surprised that it's showing 12 squares.
Yeah, so
everything else
apparently,
is like, oh, you have 10 people. Here's 4 of them.
apparently the oh, I will stick the link in the Discord. One momento. There's this. Sorry. Yeah, so apparently the window capturing a Zoom meeting and like broadcasting it is not going to work. So you're just going to have to watch me blow out candles on cake instead, which is fine because that's the important part. So people on Zoom can see me and people not on Zoom can see the cake because that's the way it's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to light the candles and then I'll count down from 3, 2, 1, and then you can all sing. So,
Hi, Julie.
Or I can just watch both at once.
I mean, yes, you can. If you're magical like that, you can.
Yeah,
There we
just in
go.
time to sing happy birthday to Chris.
I know.
Let's say how much I can light candles without burning myself. See, I was smart. I put all the candles on the outside, so I didn't have a middle to worry about like reaching into for the most part. All right, there and that. Woo! Ah, woo! Caught my finger. I'm good.
Don't
It's
burn
all
yourself.
good.
You should have
burn
started
yourself,
with the
Mike.
ones farthest away.
Shut
I-
up, Beavis.
I thought I got them all on the outside, but I didn't get them all out on the outside enough. Okay, now they're lit, and everybody who is on Zoom can sing. And so I'll count down 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christopher. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Yay! I got them all out. Thank you all so much for being here for my birthday and for hanging out with me in this time of trouble and strife. And now I'll take a giant knife and cut through my cake. After which,
times.
now that the fire
cake.
is out and the knife is used, I did fail one important utensil that I think you're supposed to have, which is a fork.
Fork.
I neglected to have one of those, so we're gonna apply this in a different way. I'm gonna turn my camera off here, and I'm gonna go to the thing over here. I'm gonna mute you all on Zoom, and we'll go to this camera. And yeah, I mean, forks are really overrated. The cake is like all at once. So anyway, Julia's sitting here going like she's trying to talk to me in Zoom and being like, why are you not listening to me? Anyway, yeah, no. So I got balloon frosting. I got all kinds of stuff here. It's great. No, thank you very much. Anybody? So now that you're all on Zoom, is there anything that like I should know? Like what should I know? Everyone on Zoom.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like now is your chance to talk. Like you can be like, here is the magical thing that you've been screwing up for your entire life. Like how dare you or whatever. I don't know.
You or us? You've been screwing up, or we've been screwing up?
Yeah, any of all of the above. I'm just being silly. I don't know. Like it's
baffled.
weird, man. Everything's weird.
I heard that someone made a cupcake. I made a mug cake and it's really terrible. So I'd
You
like
made-
to apologize myself for that.
Julie brought me a fork because she is a very nice person.
Many, many things are weird, Chris.
Yes. I am covered in frosting and it is good. Oh man, I really did burn my finger a little bit.
Chris.
36
I
years
tried.
old.
I did the whole outside thing. I had it all set up. Perfect. Anyway. Okay. I think I'm hopping off Zoom. We might hop back on later and hang out if people are still around later. But for the moment, I'm gonna eat cake and I'm gonna play more video games. So thank you all for being here and singing happy birthday.
Play something better than that other game, though.
Happy birthday.
Christy, back on YouTube.
I will play
Is it-
something better.
With an author with a better name.
Yeah, but I mean, by your definition, literally any other name would be better, right?
It is true. All right, I'm hopping off. Bye.
Okay, bye.
I-
Okay. So now I have cake. I have birthday. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it, really. It was Jess has been bugging me for months that I should have a party, and I've been kind of like, I'm not going to have a party, but as is usually the case, I've been like, I'm not going to have a party because like I'm a big pouty head rather than because I didn't want one. And then like it turns out that global pandemic would have like, you know, solved this problem for me. I did also realize, so I was reading a tweet earlier and it had this mom who's like, stop jumping on the bed. I don't want to take you to the hospital during a global pandemic, to a 9-year-old. And the 9-year-old responds, Mom, you don't have to call it a global pandemic. Pandemic means global. And it's like, God damn it, 9-year-old, you are correct. So yeah. Anyway, get rid of that. Is Mega Man 2 a better game? I feel like Mega Man 2 is a better game. That's what I played for my birthday a while back. Let's do that. Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2, Mega Man 2. Everybody loves Mega Man 2. Take care, David. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. Turn on the game. Thanks, Yuki. Take care, Saul. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the birthday wishes. And everybody else. As I said, I'm glad that I got a chance to hang out with people tonight. Because I've been pouty. Yesterday especially, I was really pouty. Part of it, of course, is that I didn't eat. It's one of the problems with like not having your food all prepared for you and having a bunch of people around you all going to lunch at the same time is that you have to actually remember to eat food yourself, which is problematic because I'm not used to that. I don't have these grown-up skills of like preparing my own food. So I had to remember that like food is a thing you're supposed to eat, and I had to do it. It's so sad. So for whoever said that I should play a better game, is this a better game? So it's not so much the forgetting, like being unable to like acquire food. It's the remembering that you need to element. So yeah. So like today, like I had my like lunch hangout with friends, and like I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like I had my lunch hangout with friends. But I didn't actually get food before it, and then of course I didn't want to leave during it, and so then I was like, well, great, maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was today, I don't know, someday, I was like, I don't want to leave during it, and, that must have been yesterday, so then I just didn't eat lunch, because then I had meetings right after, so it was like, okay, cool, so I went from, like, the lunch hangout that's supposed to be like, we all eat lunch together, didn't eat lunch during it, and then went straight to a meeting, so. Mindstock, Damien, I don't, so I'm on, Adderall, and so, like, I don't feel hunger during the day, basically. But that does not mean that I don't get hangry. He's a robot. Robots don't have problems moving underwater. Okay. I think my voice is as loud as it goes, so I'll lower game volume. Thanks. Oh yeah, Adderall's a huge appetite suppressant. What do I have to do next? Is it Heat Man? Oh, I'm sorry, Tyler. Yeah, so stimulants are generally caffeine's the same way. Thanks, Chris. But yes, you missed the cake, but it's okay. We all got on Zoom and sang happy birthday, and then there was cake, and I burned my finger lighting it on fire, and it's good. Brad! I did the Isaac Daily. Sorry you missed it. People were asking where you were. By the way, if we were having a competition for who is coming here from farthest away, I'm pretty sure Brad wins. Coming from Shanghai, I'm pretty sure is about as far as you can get. Maybe Australia's farther in some cases, but... It was fine. I mean, it was relatively... So, you have to keep in mind, my standards are low because we've done this before on Discord, so I'm used to at this point, the singing being totally and completely off. So I just counted down 3, 2, 1, and because I was doing that, everyone, I think, started on my voice, and it was moderately okay. But yeah, so this is like, as I was saying earlier, like, this is actually how I spend my birthday, have spent my birthday every year. I haven't had a party for my birthday in 4 years, and so, like, other than on YouTube, so. You're probably the last sponsor standing. I should really turn that off, because I don't think I actually ever get the money. So you should stop sponsoring. Because I will, like, you would have to sponsor for 2 years for me to get the money now that I no longer make any money from YouTube, so. Yeah, well, so, like, for me, like, you have to keep in mind that, like, because, like, I was raising kids and because of, like, Jess's illness and everything else like that, like, social isolation has been a fact of life for me for a long time. Like, my issues are more, you know, changing my routine to avoid grocery stores and other stuff like that, much bigger deal for me than the, like, not having friends around bits. So I'm definitely adjusting more to working from home. Like, I miss my desk a little bit, but I'm mostly set up here now, so. Yeah, but you don't, I don't need your $5, so. Oh. Oh, come on, leave me alone. There we go. Got it. That is Airman. Gotta look out for the air. So yeah, I'm wearing my, this is the YouTube Gaming first anniversary birthday shirt. So it's a birthday cake that looks like the YouTube Gaming logo with a candle on it. So it's and that was 2016. So 2015, I guess 2016 would have been my first birthday stream. So this is my 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is my 5th year of basically doing my birthday on YouTube. So and I think I had a party one of those years in addition, but this has been a lot of my, because especially when I used to do this twice a week, like this was a lot of my like interaction with folks. So let's see. I think I do Heatman now. Heatman gets beat by Bubble Man, and Metal Man gets beat by, yeah. Oh no! Just walk into a pit. God damn it. The floor is literally lava. But it's only lava when I don't have invincibility frames. But yeah, a lot of my motivation to go to lunch lately has actually just been, there's a group of folks who plays Killer Queen in our office from about 12:30 to 1. Killer Queen is a 10-player arcade game. Sort of like a combination of like Joust and... I guess it's really just like multiplayer Joust. It's not perfect, but you know, it gives you a sense of what you're dealing with. And I've been playing that, and so I tend to go to lunch just so that I can play with people. There's definitely people who, like, the heavy players of Killer Queen in our office have been like, I'm jonesing for this. Like, I'm gonna go to the office while it's still open and just, like, play rounds by, like, do tech by myself. Someone was like, can I, like, I'm gonna get my own Killer Queen cabinet for my house. Like, how long do you think delivery's gonna take on that? It's like, I don't feel like that's a great idea right now. There's some people who have been playing Black, but they have not really seemed very enthused with it. I don't know what exactly their thought process is there, but fuck. Alright, gonna get away. Let's go Should I do that? Jump. Oh, failed. God damn it. That is okay, AWOL. I understand. Well, so the cabinet, they're like, I don't even, like, they're like, I don't even plan to have 10 people play. I just want a cabinet so I can practice my, like, tech in my house. And I'm like, okay, like, that's an approach. So there's item 2. I think item 2 is the good one for this. So here's the trick to this. There's going to be an extra life in the middle here, and I do not grab it. Even though it feels like I could, if I do, I cannot get to the other side on this, so I just have to let it go. Boom, done. Yeah, what I wouldn't give for Brad's level of stability of, like, economy and, you know, cultural, social norms at the moment. Man, if only I was in China, said very few people ever. Okay, let's go ahead and grab bubble lead. Get out of here. That's right, turn into fire. Boom, get out of here. Boom, get out of here. Done. Got it. Hooah. Alright, more alcohol time. Hello, Gene the Human. Jan, don't remember. It's been too long. It's been too long. So, Wuhan / Hubei province went through its own lockdown time, but the entirety of China did not, as far as my understanding is. So, like, Shanghai never really went through a lockdown in the way that like one province did. It's not like a small province, but Brad can tell me I'm wrong, but oh, I didn't read any. Is there any fancy words here? Oh, sorry. I failed to read the fancy label, which is an important element of the beer drinking experience. This is the Crispin Honeycrisp cider. Crispin ciders are naturally fermented using the juice of fresh-pressed American apples and pears. Through classic cold fermentation and specially selected wine yeasts, we always stay true to the fruit with authentic flavors and unique aromatic notes that are only present in fresh-pressed cider. Honeycrisp Artisanal Reserve Unfiltered Hard Cider is made with apple wine and smoothed with pure honey, which balances its bright lemon zest acidity and slightly dry, tart mouthfeel. Yeah. Yeah, you had to get there. It took a little while, but they got there. Alright, unpause this. Oh man, I haven't streamed in so long. So one thing that I have been doing while I haven't been streaming is that I have my own weekly TV show now. So my TV show is called Renters Matter. It is a TV show that is about local politics in Cambridge from the perspective of a renter, namely me. You can actually find it on YouTube. If you search for Renters Matter, it might come up. But yeah, so I've been doing broadcasts in the local public access station for the past, I don't know, I'm 25 episodes or so in, 22 maybe. It's also available as a podcast on SoundCloud or wherever podcasts are found. Hey, well, I feel like this is a problem that, like, you're probably responsible for in some way. No, the rent is too damn high guy was a mayoral candidate in New York. So he actually ran 2 campaigns for the mayor of New York. But my first episode was actually titled "The Rent is Too Damn High, but How High Is It?" Because one of the things that I found in talking to all of these like boomers who want to not build more housing is that they actually have no idea how much housing costs in Cambridge. So when you tell them like, yeah, I'm paying $3,500 a month for a 3-bedroom, they're like, how could you possibly pay that much? And it's like, because that's how much it costs to rent something in Cambridge. I mean, I have found that the only way to make anything better is to shake my fist at the clouds, so I think that's a pretty reasonable approach. Oh, look at that. Thank you very much, little birdie things. Take that all the way to the bank. Come on, monkey. There you go. Yeah, so I got tired of the old guy on TV who gives all the Cambridge like local politics news on CCTV, being like, how dare these socialists plan to build housing that doesn't cost money for people who have no money. So I started my own TV show, and this was around the time of the Cambridge local municipal election, and I've just kept doing it ever since. So I wanted to have more of an outcome with it than I have. I really haven't done much with it, but it gives me an opportunity to go into a room for 30 minutes every week and yell about local politics without it really bothering my family so much. So. So I think I need to use heat. Boom. Not bad, not bad. I know what I'm doing a little bit. It's fine. Oh, that's right. Everything closed down for a week longer after Lunar New Year, so. I feel like Brad already speaks pretty good Chinese. I think I can do Metal Man now. I think I was supposed to do Metal Man before Woodman. Take care, Anna. Thank you very much for stopping by for my birthday. I appreciate it. So no, Mindstock, the rent is too damn high party was literally a New York mayoral party. So it's a guy wears all black, got a big gray beard. If you search for rent is too damn high guy, you'll see him. Matty is not the rent is too damn high guy. He is definitely like Matt Iglesias is chief neoliberal shill. So like, you know, we don't want to get those guys confused. He was not the worst. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, anyone could write a book. No, I mean, I like his unofficial title is chief neoliberal shill. So you know, like he has to get better at branding if he wants to be the book guy. Okay, so I think I can do this. Pick up an extra life here. Glad I still know this game. I haven't played this game in a year. I mean, literally a year. I played it on my birthday last year, so. Well, so this is, so there's somebody who I'm you know friends with on Twitter that I get into discussions with sometimes, but we're pretty like we get along with each other. We don't always see eye to eye, but we get along with each other pretty well. But he's a landlord. He has like 25 properties in Cambridge, and he's currently rebuilding the hotel in Central Square. And he was like, when I said that like I was making the show, he's like, well, maybe I should make a show called Landlords Matter. And I was like, isn't that already a show that exists? It's called Inside Out, which is of course the name of the show that the old boomer does that I was attempting to respond to in the first place. So. Yep, I definitely I have a type. I have not gone to Super Mario Brothers 3, but you know I think the funny thing is that last year actually was so I did Isaac, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, and then Overwatch. and I actually got drunk enough that I fell out of my chair. Like I ended the way that my stream ended is I basically got blackout drunk, fell out of my chair, and my computer like blue screened, and I could not get it working again. And the next day when I went back to it, it was working again, but like a week later was when my computer finally like died for real, and then I couldn't stream for 6 months because my computer was dead. So I probably broke my motherboard by like literally like falling out of my chair. What just happened? Oh, I hit my alt key. So. But yeah, if you do want to watch my regularly scheduled ranting about random things, this is the YouTube channel for that. Yeah, so that is Renters Matter. I have a whole 9 subscribers. Mother about alcohol poisoning, pretty much. So I think Crashman I'm gonna take out with Airman, so I think this one's fine. Oh, I hate this level but I got Metal Man now, so I'm fine. Oh. Forgot how things work. Thanks, James! Nice. I still want to, like, at some point, one thing I'd love to do, like, I want to know if, take care, Gene, thanks so much! Jan. I think it's Jan. I think I got it wrong the first time. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I love you anyway, even if I don't know your name. Man, but yeah, I've definitely done a lot of plague tracking. Like, I have a spreadsheet where I'm doing various exponential modeling of, like, how plague progress is going in various places. Jan, god damn it. See, like, I should never second, triple, third guess myself. I should just, like, go with it. Jan the human. Alright, I got it now. I'm good. Fine. Sorry, I screwed up your name. I hate screwing up people's names. I also found out recently, like, so I've been working with somebody on my team for the past, like, year and a half, and my team at work got split up, and so we're no longer all on the same team. We're shutting down one product, and so we acquired some new people, and, like, so we acquired, like, this other team, and we split things up, so now I'm on the sub-team, and there's these people, and they're, like, who are new to me, and they're like, so, does Matt use, you know, they, them pronouns? And I was like, no? And they're like, well, it says so on their, like, profile page, work profile page. And I was like, oh. And then I found out that, like, yes, they do. And I was like, oh, well, now I feel stupid because I have not been doing that, so. Problematic drinking with your hand that needs to push the fire button while, like, you know, not doing that. Don't do that. Oh god, leave me alone. Stupid little birds. Get out of here. I think I want to, yeah. Leave me alone. Oh my god, leave me alone, stupid birds. Alright, we're good. We're good. Ah! Stock versus drone all over again. They're coming for me. Does this work? I think this works. Yes! Success! Yeah, so I don't know. I've been doing a bunch of different data modeling and like looking at graphs and charts and all this stuff because that's what I do. Like I am a graph and chart person. And there's like one of the people who follows me on Facebook who keeps being like, "Oh my god, how are you freaking out so much about this?" And I'm like, "Dude, like 10,000 people are going to die in the US before we even like start to react to this. Like this is not just like a small deal. Like it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck hardcore. And with Trump as fucking president, it's gonna suck even more hardcore because he sucks. Oh, Trump, god damn it." And so like instead of one national response, we have 50 different responses and everyone is freaking out and no one has any plan for what they're doing. There's no plan for healthcare monitoring. There's no plan for like how we get out of a state where we're all like locked in our homes. It's I mean, it's not let me be clear. It is very unlikely that even in a best case scenario, any administration was going to do the necessary things to make this a lot better. Like, it does not matter, like, Hillary Clinton president, like, this would not, like, it would have been somewhat better, but it would not have been, like, a ton better, because, like, we are currently in this, like, Overton Windows speedrun thing that's going on, right? Like, everyone is suddenly, now we're talking about, like, UBI, and we're talking about, like, you know, massive unemployment benefits, and, like, all of this stuff that, like, was just completely unthinkable as political anything, for a while, and like, yeah, okay, sure, you wouldn't have fired the pandemic team, and I get that, but, like, would you have gotten Congress to actually fund, like, what they need? Because, like, Congress has been underfunding these mandates for forever, and they were going to continue to no matter what. Like, there are certainly things that would have been improved, but the initial response, like, where we are today, would probably be only, like, you know, 20% better. Not like 90% better, like 20% better. Because you needed the idea that, like, US exceptionalism is not going to protect you from all fucking things in order to, like, make shit happen. And so, like, look, don't get me wrong, like, I obviously think Trump has made the situation worse, like, a lot worse, but I honestly don't think that if we had the pandemic team, the response that we're seeing at the moment would have been drastically different, because in order to make shit happen, you have, like, okay, let me rephrase that. The initial response, the response up until March 12th, the response up until March 12th would have been mostly the same, because getting funding for the things that we need would have, like, not happened. Like, there would be no call for it in Congress, there would be no anything else. And so I absolutely think that with Hillary as president, they would have been fighting and they would have been saying it was her fault that it got into China all the way or whatever else like that, because we still have a Republican Congress. Now, from here forward, the next 6 weeks are going to be terrible and hellish, and that is going to be, like, a thing that we're going to be dealing with that is caused by Trump. So, like, no one had the, like, the other thing that would be significant at the moment is that because there is, when the party in power has the president as, like, their kind of, like, power broker who by default kind of acts in the who acts as, like, the head of the party, right? And so, like, they take the lead and whatever, and, like, now when you're not in power, that doesn't really happen. Like, you got the head of the DNC, you got the head of the House, you got the head of the Senate, but you don't have, like, a single power broker. So that's, like, another thing that would have been slightly different, is that you could have actually had, like, a committed Democratic message. But I just think that, like, realistically, the last 2 weeks would have gone much the same in most cases. I think the testing would be further than it is, but not massively further than it is. Like, we just screwed up. Like the CDC just kind of screwed up because they thought they could develop a test in time and failed. And, like, that's, yeah. Yeah. Like, I think, like, while you need
Now, it is possible that the reason that the CDC's the reason that the CDC screwed up testing is not because of is not primarily because the pandemic team was disbanded. It's because like someone just screwed up science. Like it was just like a mistake. Like shit got fucked for no good. Like they thought they were gonna have a test in time, and they thought they had a test that worked, and it was bad science. The reason that the CDC test that went out initially got so behind was because like they had done testing in a lab condition that couldn't be replicated in the state labs, and so they had like this 3-part test that you needed to have all 3 parts match in order to have it be like a technical match, and it was basically like random chance or worse that the 3rd one would match, and like shit like that is just, it's like when you're developing a new test for a disease, like that will happen, and the CDC has long been thought to be a forefront on these issues, and it was just like, you know, like sometimes you screw up. So I think that like some of the things that were like, oh, this would have been much better, it's like, no, god damn it. Alright, that's fine. So the big thing that South Korea did differently is testing, right? Like the big thing that's like, and this is not just South Korea, it's also Vietnam. Oh god. Grab one of these. Thanks. Yeah, so South Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, any place that had SARS knows how to 1, test a shitload of people, 2, trace contacts of people, and 3, take people being far away. The reason that so we will be on track to have private labs testing more people per capita. Like, we're already ahead of South Korea overall. We tested 30,000 people in the US yesterday. By next week, we'll be testing. Now, granted, we're bigger than South Korea, but per capita, we need to test about 60,000 a day to catch up to where South Korea was at their peak of testing 10,000 people. The problem is that they were just ahead of us. Like, we screwed up because the CDC thought they had a good test, and they took too long to react and find out they didn't. And they thought they had time because there had only been like a handful of cases detected. And they're like, I mean, I kind of understand this, right? Like, thinking about this from like a software engineer perspective, you look around, you're like, okay, fine. There's like 5 tests or 5 people who've had problems with this, and like we're gonna get it fixed, and it's not gonna be a problem. And it was just like they just thought they had more time than they did. And so this is not like magic. This is very much, we shipped the product and failed to realize that it had a fatal flaw until too late. I think this one I want to use, yeah. Well, yeah, but that's 100% that, so, 3 days versus 4 hours is largely because we have a giant backlog. Like, that's not because our tests are massively slower. Some of them are, but that's not because, like, all of our tests are massively slower, but because we have, like, a backlog of thousands of tests that people have already sent that we can't cope with, and we can't cope with them because we are like 2 weeks behind on testing. So we're trying to, like, we're still at the point where we're trying to do contact tracing on people that we identified as contacts a week and a half ago. So yeah, of course they're gonna be behind. Like, these tests individually, when you're caught up, don't take like 4 days to run one test. It takes, you know, a couple hours to run one PCR test. They're all based on largely the same things, but it's just that we have a huge backlog, which is the real problem here. And then the other thing is that because the state labs are so behind, they're sending them to out of state, and so like a big part of Massachusetts' current testing is sending their tests out to LabCorp in California. And so it's like, okay, well, how fast can you get a test back if the way that you're going to do it is if the way you're going to get a test back is that you're going to send it to California and wait for the results to come back, like, it's going to take at least, you know, a day or two to get out there, even if you're FedEx Expressing it. So, yeah,
Yeah, so the CDC test that originally went out, basically what happened is that, like, they did analysis, and the CDC shipped a test and said, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to, like, mix the RNA and do a PCR assay in order to figure out if it, like, matches these 3 things. And people were, like, testing these and saying, like, well, this is all giving us, like, positive, like, false positives, like, you know, whatever, true positives, false positives, like, it wasn't working, in short. And that was a situation where even the states were like, look, like, you've got a 99.9% accurate test if you ditch the 3rd match. And that was a thing that, you know, the people who were working on it were like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay. Shit. Okay. So yeah, so this is a side effect of the capture rate combination between a 30 FPS stream and Nintendo capture. So Nintendo runs at 60 FPS, and so captures of Nintendo that intend to display a flashing character pretty consistently on stream capture as the character not being there. So yes, he does not completely disappear on my screen. That is a side effect of the capture experience. It is worth noting I also, like, totally cheated there. I got knocked off the platform and I totally rewound, so... Oh, shit. Okay, I'm good. Whatever. So yeah, so the CDC tried. They just ended up with bad science. Like, bad science can happen to anybody. They were relatively ahead on running the test, but then fell behind because of that. The WHO test. So one thing I will note is that the WHO test, which I think is what China was using for this, has a different problem, right? So, like, in testing of, like, close contacts of people who had the disease, they were getting, according to a paper that just came out of China, like a 57% false positive rate of people being told that they had coronavirus even when they didn't. So, you know, none of these tests are perfect. They're trying to develop them rapidly. They're trying to, you know, make things happen that are, to some extent, just very, like, scientifically difficult. And we screwed up. There is no reason that would not have happened under, like, a different precedent. Like, that wasn't magic. That wasn't a screw up. That wasn't anything that was under Trump's control. Now, Trump continuing to call it a hoax, continuing to call it the China virus, like, all of this stuff. Like, I'm not saying that there aren't, like, negative side effects from our current presidential candidate. There clearly are, but I'm just not sure that they would put us in a different spot than where we are today. Did I get all my stuff back? No, of course not. It was not an intentional suicide. I was being dumb and not paying enough attention to my health. This is what happens when I drink too much. Just refilling all my stuff here. But yeah, I mean, like, false positives are better than false negatives. I'm not denying that. But I'm just saying, like, none of these tests are perfect. They're being developed quickly and
and response is hard. Like it is legitimately, it seems like, difficult to kind of come up with a good test for these false positive rates. So there's reason. I mean, the point there is not to say like, oh, the CDC is good and China is bad, or the WHO is bad and China is good, or anything else like that. It's just to say like all of these tests have different failure modes, and unfortunately, the U.S. test's failure mode was basically like not like in anything other than perfect lab conditions, you're not going to get the right result, and that ended up being like a really, really damaging position to be in. And the time that folks thought that they had to recover from it was just wrong. So, I mean, it sucks. It really does. And what should have been happening is that we should have said like, okay, cool, we're like we should have been listening more, we should have been communicating more at a federal level. I'm just not totally convinced that even under a competent administration that would have happened. I'm not convinced that the funding would have been that different. I'm not convinced that you wouldn't be dealing with some of this bullshit. And I think that now, like from here forward, we're gonna see a lot of shit that's really like, I mean, one example, right? Like Mass General Hospital, which is one of the premier like research hospitals in the country, like is credited with saving the lives of dozens, if not more people during the marathon bombing. Like all of these things is like out of N95 masks. Like that is not something that under any competent administration should be happening right now. Like we like, and even if it is happening, even if like these things haven't been done, haven't whatever, like we should have actively taken steps to ramp up production of N95 masks, like across the country. Like there's absolutely no question about this. And that failure is going to haunt us. It's going to be a real nightmare. Like we are going to kill medical providers because we have not provided them with accurate like sufficient protective equipment. And there are companies who are ready and willing, like private organizations that are ready and willing to make these things. All it requires is the government to say like, make it now. Like it does not require magic. Everyone is like, there's a lot of people who are tooled to do this, and there's probably a lot of fucking money in it. And the government just has to say like, yeah, we'll pay you. Like not even we'll pay you a lot. We'll pay you the normal amount. And companies would like be jumping at the bit. And we're not doing that. And again, like this is a Trump thing. Like that is 100% on Trump and his administration's incompetence and unwillingness to admit that there's a problem. Oh my god, like all of this like 3D printing bullshit. I'm like, oh my god, please, like and the worst thing is that like it's not just people being dumb. Like the head of MGH was like, they're like was talking about this. Like this is not just like your family members being like caught up, but yeah. So the Defense Production Act, right? The Defense Production Act allows the president to call manufacturers to come like and manufacture certain goods. Like Trump signed it, but then won't. And like he's trying. Oh my god, it just sucks, right? Like so the reason that Trump is not doing this again is Trump being Trump. Like Trump is not like enacting rules here because what are the states that are currently affected? Well, it's California, it's Washington, it's New York, it's Massachusetts. And so he looks at it and says, well, those are blue states and I don't care about blue states. And this is one of those cases where, I mean, like not that it's like it should ever be okay. But this is like horribly problematic because like this is him trying to fucking score points. And so like I said I said chomping, but you're right, it is champing. I was wrong. I did not say jumping. Yeah, PA has shut down non-essential services. Cambridge and Somerville are both shutting down personal care services. I mean, the reality is, like I was showing earlier, right? Like the T ridership has dropped 80%. Like, so even if you ignore like things that are still open, and there are still people who are being forced to go into offices who shouldn't be, like there's all kinds of problems going on, but overall like T ridership has dropped 80%, and I'm really hopeful. Yeah, so but you have to keep in mind, like, yes, Pennsylvania has shut down non-essential services, but not because of something that Trump did. Like Trump is like, that's not something that Trump cares about. Like PA is not like on the top of his list. Pennsylvania is just like ahead of the game
on some of this stuff. And so he, and also keep in mind, like, Pennsylvania, like, he does not, like, in general, I do not believe that Trump actively cares about things which are actually helpful to him. He cares about his base. Like, he cares about red states and red states only. Like, this has always been true. And so he really, really cares about the places not that are going to help him win an election, but rather, like, he cares about Wyoming. He cares about Idaho. He cares about all these things, and they're all relatively rural states. They're going to have, like, lower base transmission rates that are going to be, like, just take longer for them to be affected in the same way. And so it's going to, like, he's just not going to care until it's too late. I am at least appreciative that someone, like, got to him and said, like, stop. Like, you've got to tell people to stay home. You've got to tell people this is not, like, you've got to stop saying this is a hoax. You've got to stop, like, all these other things. Because I think that, like, realistically that allowed Fox to change their narrative. And that's the, like, it is really shitty. But what Fox News says is the #1 probably controlling factor in what people over the age of 60 do. Like, of any factor that you can have, like, that's the one that matters the most. And so by allowing Fox to change their narrative from it's a Democratic hoax to, like, this is a real problem and it's the Democrats' fault, like, he will save lives. So that's not, like, whatever. But yeah, Trump is not rational, right? Like, he's a 72-year-old, like fuddy-duddy, so. Hello, Matus, how's it going? Oh man, so many old people at the grocery store this morning too. I was like, oh my god, please. Like, I'm sitting here going, like, should I offer to these people that I will buy their groceries for them going forward? Then I'm like, I don't know if I'm sick. Like, I don't want to have a conversation with these people because, like, one of the best ways to spread this disease is to, like, you know, have a conversation and spit at them. Like, I don't know what to do here. But all these, like, people are just, like, standing here and they're, like, in the grocery store and they're like, oh my god, I'm so frustrated. Yeah, no kidding, right? Alright, so go ahead and kill this and kill... Oop, you got me. This. Alright. Oh god. Howie Carr, I don't know, like, like, we're just gonna kill so many people. For no good reason. Yeah, and like, it's not wrong, right? Like, he gets to be a wartime president. Like, this is, like, there's so much language, you know, that's very much like, this is a war, this is a, you know, and it's like, hey, look, I'm fine. Like, if that's what it takes to get you to fucking pay attention, then great, more power to you. Because, like, I just want shit to get better. Like, I don't care anything. All I care is that shit gets better. Like, all I care about. God damn it. Ah! Nope. Okay. Do I still own an E-Tank? I do. Hate using it here, but whatever. Okay, there we go. And boom. Excuse me. Yeah, so, like, Trump is yeah, so I think the first 2 weeks of the U.S. response, I'm not convinced would have been a lot better under any circumstance. I just don't think it would have. I know that there's a lot of argument about that. I know that there's a lot of, you know, various aspects of that, but that's my current feeling. How do I beat... Oh, bubble lead. Take that. Boom. And what do we got next? Airman! Go ahead and switch back to regular Mega Man.
This air is trying to kill me, but I'm not gonna let it. I'm gonna kill this guy. Oop. Kill this guy. Oh, come on. There we go. It was not a dinosaur, it's just what I sound like. I had initially been, I'm still a little bit peeved about Cambridge's response. It's been a little bit too little, too late. Well, not too late, but it's been slow. It's been slow, and that's been frustrating to me as someone who's like, you know, we've got a lot of money, we've got a lot of, like, why are we not setting grants? Why are we not helping people who are losing their homes? Why are we not doing all this other stuff? You know, Cambridge all the time prides itself on its ability, like right now, Cambridge prides itself on this like AAA bond rating, its ability to borrow all this money, and it's like, you know, whatever. It's like, now is the time. Great. Money is effectively free to borrow right now. Like, why are you not using all of the stuff that you say, like, we're the best in the fucking world? Like, great. Get on it. Like, let's you put that to good work. Let's like issue $1 billion bond and like start issuing small business loans to keep these restaurants open. Let's start, you know, let's talk about, you know, taking everyone who's low income in Cambridge and getting them $1,000 while the government gets its act together. Like, let's figure out what we can do here. So especially, I love the fact that like somebody, oh my god, I love that like people are so, you know, the level to which people are just like flat out willing to be sexist. Like, yeah, all these people are asking really mean questions, but especially the women. Like, come on, seriously? Like, do you hear yourself? Like, do you ever have to look yourself in the mirror and say, like, what am I doing with my life? Is that ever a question you've been forced to ask yourself? Because I ask myself that every day. Like, what am I doing with my life? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Well, like, what should I be doing differently? Okay, I don't remember how to beat this person. Quick man? Maybe? Quick boomerangs? Nope. Metal man? Well, that wasn't great. Which female candidate is most likable? Man, it's great. I mean, I think that if you're listening to Howie, you're probably making a mistake somewhere along the line anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Like, okay, good, and then no, I am not dead. I refuse. Alright, we're just gonna rewind a little bit more here. No problem. Alright, cool. Nope. A little bit more. It really does. Come on. Yeah, so this whole thing, this is one of the things about the Mega Man games, is that they've always had like refresh rate issues even on the original SNES. So alright, let's try this again, and like being less callous about my life. Oh, seriously? I wasn't even touching anything. Oh! One hit more. Alright, try this again. There we go. Yeah. So what the U.S. needs to be doing? Yeah. So the reason that South Korea was ahead of the U.S. is because South Korea took tests that worked and deployed them massively. The U.S. attempted to deploy tests that worked massively. They actually shipped tons and tons of tests. They actually thought they were ahead of the game, and they just did not get feedback soon enough from various like testing labs around the country, or rather they got the feedback but didn't integrate the feedback quickly enough that like these tests don't work. And like, look, I've been in that situation at work all the time where I'm like, look, you've rolled out a fix, you've marked the bug as verified, and it just doesn't fucking work. And that's something which I can totally imagine happening in any situation. So it should be better now, Emily. Sorry about that. So one thing about this boss is that he does about 4 times as much damage if you run into him than the bullets he shoots, so that's the number one thing you don't want to do, if I remember correctly. It's also like, this is just a hologram. It's actually like a metal thing, which you'll see as soon as I defeat it. Which I will do. Jump, jump. This end boss is actually kind of stupid. Like, after all these other bosses, it's like, ugh, this is just kind of... It's all the same pattern. There's no real strategy to it. I guess, like, part of the reality is that this gets a lot easier when you can Google which, like, enemy's item to use. Which I guess I couldn't do back in 1991 when this game came out, so there you go. I did it. I won. I don't know if they sold it, but presumably. Everything was strategy guides back then. Oh. Yeah, that's the end guy. Looks like Worlds of Power sold one. I was just gonna go reach for my Stream Deck, but then I remember my Stream Deck is like trapped behind my desk. Anyway, I beat the game. That's cool. So here's a question. Should I play Plague Inc? Should I like make a disease that kills everyone in the world, or is that too dark at the moment? I can't decide. I will also say, like, oh yeah, I won. Yay! Emily, do not feel the need to feel bad. I'm not playing Battletoads, James Baker. Alright. Not playing Wario's Woods either. We're not doing that. I'm gonna play a Plague. Plague! I did win. That was the end. Okay, cool. I am small. We're gonna infect the world. Oh, I don't need this. I gotta... Okay. Alright, I'll play a bacteria. Okay, blah blah blah.
All right. So here's the thing: if you're gonna start a plague, like this is a mistake coronavirus made, right? So, like if you're gonna start a plague, you have to start it in Madagascar or Greenland. Like those are the only two options, because those are going to be the fastest to close down their borders, which was just proven because Madagascar was the first country to close down all its borders. They're no longer accepting any shipping or flights. And so, like, I don't think they actually accept flights anyway, but yes, they closed down the cruise ships. And so Madagascar has 0 cases of coronavirus, and they will probably never get one, even though they have a population of 23 million people, and there's like cases in the Vatican City, which has like 12,000 people, because they closed their borders early. Always start in Madagascar. So we'll start in Madagascar. Coronateria, yeah, this is a bacteria instead of a virus. So we're gonna start off here and infect some people in Madagascar. Yeah, so this is the key thing that is not possible in the real world, right? So like what happens in this game is that you end up. That's right. So how many people I got? Like I have 24, 25, 27, 30 people infected. So here I can evolve like transmission. Like, but when I click evolve, it's going to evolve every single case of it, which is not, of course, how real diseases work. So there's already 2 different strains of the coronavirus. There's the S and the L. Thankfully, the L, which is slightly less good at killing people, is what made it out of China. But the S is more deadly. But like in this game, you evolve them all at once, and so like that's a thing that doesn't happen in the real world. So at some point, some cruise ship is going to leave here with a person who's infected with coronateria, but they haven't yet. So yeah. So like, cool. And this is that exponential curve that people are worried about, right? Like, so now we're infecting like hundreds of thousands per day. And basically, like, everyone now has coronateria. I've infected more than tuberculosis just on Madagascar, which is cool and all. But it doesn't do anything. Like, everyone just has it. And the other thing is, of course, that, what? Population density in urban environments has fallen. That's not a thing that happens. Like, more people are moving to urban environments, not fewer. That's just wrong. I object. As a Yimby, I object. That is a misleading claim. Okay, so now everyone in Madagascar is infected, but it's not going to get off of Madagascar until I evolve because they put some, like, shit on ships to prevent them from being infected, so we'll have to wait. There we go. Now Saudi Arabia has it, and it now has coughing. Coughing is a good symptom to have because coughing is going to spread it faster, as we know with coronavirus. Australia has medicine, unlike Madagascar, apparently, so only 16 people are infected there so far. It's going to take a little while. South Africa. One thing about coronavirus is this is COVID-19. Sorry, SARS-CoV-2, I think, is what the official virus is called. It does not seem to infect as many people in Africa, which makes me wonder a little bit if this is like a counter white supremacy virus. All right, like look, like this is just less likely to impact black people, which there's a whole bunch of actually valid like it's an I don't know how viruses work, but overall there's few cases of oh yeah, there's no ill health. That's right. You're all infected, but you don't have, there's nothing wrong. There's no symptoms other than coughing. Oh, you cough, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know if there's any science or evidence around, you know, African Americans or like black people or whatever, But overall, Africa has much lower rate of infection. This could be because of temperature issues. It could be because of climate. It could be because of like just testing issues. Like there's all kinds of reasons that could be happening. I don't know, but it's definitely the case that there are many fewer cases in Africa than in most other continents at the moment. So, but yeah, so South Africa is continuing at a pace. But yeah, so right now this is basically just a thing that's spreading around the world, and so like coronavirus, like once you're infected, like you either recover or you die, and the virus in this game obviously does not have that property. Hey, look, Canada has it now. Or was that the U.S.? Oh, that was the U.S. Okay. It was the U.S., but it showed up in Seattle first. Uh-oh, now it has nausea. We don't want it to have nausea. Yeah, so here's the problem. Like, once you have symptoms, people are like, oh, there's symptoms? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly evolve. Like, I have a whole bunch of points now, so I'm going to quickly evolve such that this transmits more easily. Okay, cool. So we can try and infect as many people as possible before people are like, oh, we should actually like do things about this, because we don't want to have people researching how to fix it. See, if coronavirus could just live in your cells forever and then suddenly, boom, like, you know, infect everyone at once, that would be a thing. But it can't actually do that because that's not how viruses work. But I have that power, because I can just infect people all over the world. So every one of these little red dots is another country that's being infected. So you can see that we're definitely accelerating our infection plans. Hey, I've infected more people than the common cold. Hooray. Oh no, Madagascar's gonna work on the cure. Well, it makes sense, because everyone in your country is infected with this bacteria. Because it makes sense that, you know, you do that, but... Okay, I got a lot of points. Let's go ahead and have rodents carry it, have mosquitoes carry it, have birds carry it. Get all the points in the world we need. Oh, now it causes sneezing and coughing. Hey, everyone's infected in China. Brazil's leading the global cure effort. No, we're not gonna have that happen. Oh, now it's got vomiting. All right, let's infect some. What are we gonna do here? Let's go ahead and evolve drug resistance so we can infect people more quickly, and then we're gonna evolve immune suppression and total organ failure. So here's the thing: is that if you evolve symptoms that kill people, those people who are researching can't do anything. See, France has started to break down. Can't do any research if I kill all your scientists. Hey, killed more than the Black Death. Excellent. Because the Black Death only killed 88 million people. Killed more than the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu is a bad name, by the way. This is what I didn't know this. The Spanish flu was only called the Spanish flu because Spain was one of the few countries that didn't have like aggressive censorship that caused them to genetic hardening. And we'll go ahead and evolve. Well, actually, cold resistance. Yeah, sure it is. You keep thinking that. Uh-oh. Some more of this. Genetic reshuffle. Can't research if I get in the way of your research. Okay, so I think I'm in every country. Germany's in anarchy, which should slow down their research. Let's go ahead and bacterial research. Put people in comas. Cause systemic infections. Abscesses.
the key thing here is that I need to get Canada sufficiently infected. Cure is slowed down. Cure ETA is 2023. It's currently 2022. People are being infected more quickly than they're dying in Canada. Involve a few more bacterial resistance. Canada bombed locations with high infection, so. No, Canada! No bombing! Stop it! You can't just bomb cities full of people. That's not a thing. Come on, Canada! You gotta die. That's right. Very apologetic bombing they've got going on. I don't need heat resistance, but I'll take some more cold resistance. There we go. Now we're infecting Canadians. Look at this bar. Look at it go. Look at all the people being infected. You think you can defeat me? You can't defeat me. Nobody can defeat me. Canada prioritizes healthcare for the infected. That's probably a good idea. I would recommend generally prioritizing healthcare for the infected. Now it causes paralysis. All right. No healthy people left on Earth, I don't think. Oh, there are still some. Where are the healthy people? There's 520,000 healthy people. Where are they? Oh no! Iceland never got infected. Ah! And nobody's traveling to Iceland anymore. Oh no! Iceland will survive. God damn it. Iceland! Curse you, Iceland! Like, look how many I killed! I killed almost the entire island, but just not enough. They have 14,000 remaining people. Well, I increased infectivity is too late. God damn it. I failed. I failed. All right, let's try again. We're gonna kill everybody this time. Coronataria, because it's a bacteria. Get it? All right, we're gonna start in Greenland this time, so we can take out those Icelandics. Ah, sorry. I do blame their geothermal energy. Alright, let's go ahead and speed this up for a little bit. Okay, let's get some water transmission here, and I'll get it moving. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. No Bjorks allowed. Alright, what do we got here? We got 23 people. This is like Wuhan in December 32nd. Oh, now Russia's got it. Excellent. That's right. Russia's big. Well, Russia's big and mostly empty. Is it actually going to spread quickly in Russia? I would assume not. Let's go ahead and give it blood. No, I don't. Let's mosquitoes. No, rodents. No, birds. No, animals. No, air. Air. I like air. Alright, cool. Done. New aid for poor countries. Screw poor countries. Let them aid themselves. Who needs help? Okay. So it's interesting to spread to Russia. Like, there are like it spread to Russia when there was only like 100 cases in Greenland. Like what? Like the one person who took a flight from Greenland to Russia was like, oh, all right, I got it now. So the key thing here is we're gonna have to get it to Madagascar. That's gonna be our trouble. Infect everybody in Greenland. Get them all infected. Thanks, Damien. Have a good night. New Zealand is now harnessing magnetic shift as power. No, why are you evolving anemia? Don't evolve anemia. What are you doing? Unevolve anemia. Devolve. Yes. I don't want you to have any symptoms yet. When you have symptoms, people will start researching it. I don't need anyone to research it. I want them to just spread it. They'll all have it, and they'll be like, haha, now you are deadly. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and give me some better transmission. Heat resistance and cold resistance. Cold resistance should help me in Russia. And some drug resistance. Boom. As soon as I evolve drug resistance, suddenly like Norway's like, you know what? We got drugs, but we don't have drugs to beat your drug resistance. Rio Olympics. Postpone the Rio Olympics. Oh, so here's the thing. I can change it even after they're infected. So this is like I honestly remember like playing this game and I was like there were two things that seemed strange to me. Like one, I can change the whole actually it never even occurred to me the fact that I could change the whole world's virus or bacteria or whatever on a whim. Like that didn't occur to me as a problem. What always seemed weird to me was that countries just close their borders. Turns out I had that exactly backwards. Like countries close their borders in a pandemic on a whim in a heartbeat. Like Canada's closed its borders to the U.S. Madagascar closed its borders faster than anybody. Like closing borders is just not so Australia, Canada, and Madagascar have all closed their borders. And I didn't actually realize that was a thing that happened in real life, but the fact that I can just change this bacteria that's infecting, millions of people on a whim is something that I did not realize was not the part that I can do. So yeah. That's right. And so the reality is that there's a significant element of this game which is unrealistic, which is the ability to evolve this bacteria/device worldwide. Yeah, what is up with this? Why is Iceland not? Why has no one gone to Iceland? I guess that Greenland doesn't actually travel to Iceland. Iceland only travels from the UK. It seems like Finland traveled there. Come on, Finland. Why are there no Finns involved in invading Iceland? Give me some of these points. Ooh baby. Alright, what do we got now? Let's transmission. Go ahead and get some more airborne, more water. We're gonna be on every freaking cruise ship. We're getting to Madagascar, my friend. I will evolve no symptoms until hey, I got into Iceland. Woo! Wow. Okay. Adding a few transmission characteristics, definitely a good way to get things moving. We're gonna get this thing to Iceland. Or to Madagascar. Australia's got the Festival of Love going on. So I had not realized that there's apparently in the 1918 influenza, there were two cities, St. Louis and Pittsburgh, and one held its St. Patrick's or its parade in October, and one didn't, and the death rate jumped massively after that. And it's you know what? Maybe you shouldn't hold events during a global pandemic. Maybe just an idea, maybe. Wow, look at
Look at this. Look at this. 4 billion people infected. I got Madagascar in here. Rumors of mysterious illness in Greenland. No, there's no illness in Greenland. Oh shit. Anemia evolved again, and I wasn't even paying attention. Okay. Now that we've infected every country, we can make it deadly. Be like, you're all going into comas. Fuck you. Total organ failure? You got it. New minor disease spreading. I wouldn't call total organ failure a minor disease, but okay. Sure. Oh shit, Central Africa doesn't have any fucking cases yet. Oh, now it does. Aha. Okay. Fight the cure. I'm not really worried about fighting the cure. I'm worried about spreading this quickly. How can I spread it quickly? I'm gonna spread rodents and mosquitoes and animals and blood. Go ahead, start working on the cure. I don't care. I can take you. Iceland's broken down. Yeah, focus on the cure. I dare you. Coronataria put on watch list. What watch list? Like it's killed like 7 billion people. Some genetic reshuffling going on here. Try that, ooh, baby. Push your cure back a ways. Uh-oh. Oh no! Botswana's gonna be close. Come on! Exponential curves. Okay, let's involve some more transmission. Boom. Boom. Okay, I'm out of points. Come on, Angola. Infect people. Don't let them all die. Come on. You can do it. Go red bar. Go red bar. Go red bar. Oh no, they sequenced the genome. It involved the sweating symptom. Just in case you didn't know you were, like, just in case you were in a coma and didn't know you had this, now you also sweat. Oh no! Oh no! No! Stop! Oh, I gotta make it more infectious. No, stop killing people so quickly. Disease, what are you doing? I can unevolve symptoms, right? I get points back. Okay, we won't kill some people so fast. It's fine. We're gonna pretend this disease doesn't kill people so fast, and we're gonna make it spread faster. It's gonna be fine. Not a problem. We got this. There we go. There we go. We got it. Oh no! Okay, everyone in Botswana's dead. Thank God. I've told my story about the Botswanan hooker who tried to hit me up one time, right? I didn't realize. I mean, sure, but 98% is not 100%, and I have to win. Internal hemorrhaging symptom mutated. Well, don't do that. No, Botswana's dead. Oh shit! No, Botswana's not dead. How do I make Botswana die? Oh no! There's 4 million people living in Botswana? Who even knew there were that many people in Botswana? I've never been to Botswana. Okay. What do I have to do now? I have to evolve something? Mosquitoes. I need mosquitoes too. It costs 31 points. Okay, hold on. Let's unevolve some more symptoms. Get out of here. Oh wait, no, that was the opposite of what I wanted. Fuck! Fuck! No! No! God damn it! I clicked the wrong button. Okay, no more symptoms. It's not gonna be enough. I screwed up because I kept clicking the wrong button. Ow! This UI sucks. I just gotta say that. Now I have no symptoms and no transmission and no DNA points. I've lost. The game is over. I killed everyone but Botswana. Oh, okay. Well... yeah, it seems like there's still people alive in a lot of places. Now the disease isn't gonna kill anybody, so... oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now it has no symptoms. Nobody cares. It's perfect. They're still researching a cure, though. Interesting, despite no symptoms, it continues to kill people in Angola. No, Russia's dead. Killed them all. Or is there's like 2 people left? No, Russia's dead. There's people alive in Spain and France, though. God damn it. That's fine. Whatever. Try again. Need people to die. Look, let's just be clear. When we say like it's slow at killing people, it's still killing like 7,000 people a day. All right, like in the big scheme of things, I feel like killing 7,000 people a day is a pretty decent like death rate. I also like that East Africa has like 4 people infected. Like, yeah, Russia just doesn't have any people in this part, so it's fine. Like by any reasonable standard, killing 7,000 people a day is pretty good. I agree I'm not going to literally kill everybody, which clearly I should have, but I don't have it. It's done. It's over. Who is researching this? Who is leading this cure? New Zealand. Is there like... oh, right, of course. There's 2 million people alive in New Zealand. Like, great. Congratulations, New Zealand. You've cured people. Or something. Just want to involve more mosquitoes. Fine. disease or science. Find science. You win. You win this time. Oh, now it has nausea. It has no symptoms. Like, how is it killing people? The only symptoms it has is coughing and nausea. If coughing and nausea are killing people, like, I have questions. Yes. 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 Want mosquitoes. Can't get mosquitoes. Oh no! The cure is complete. It's gonna be eradicated? How is it gonna be eradicated exactly? Oh cool. You eradicated it in New Zealand. Curses. Okay, fine. Whatever. I'm gonna beat you this time, game. Continue. Continue. Normal. It's not Coronataria. This time it's Crispin. Nope. It's just beer. Beer is gonna kill everybody. This time we're starting in Iceland. Fuck it. You're dead, Iceland. Got you. It's setting back human civilization by 2,000 years just isn't enough. Maybe just let this infect Iceland. Screw Iceland. I have opinions on Iceland. That's what I've got. Alright. I need more beer. I need more alcohol. It's my birthday. I can drink all the alcohol I want. So this is Samuel Smith's Organic Cider. Beer has begun to spread. Good job, beer. A medium dry cider with brilliant straw color, light body, clean. Oh no, I missed. Clean apple flavor, and a gentle apple blossom finish. It's to be served with cream soups, salad with vinaigrette dressing, a classic companion to pork dishes, wonderful to clean the palate after spicy food, yet subtle enough to pair with delicate flavors. Best served at about 44 degrees C. I mean, to be fair, all of those million people lived in New Zealand, so, you know, maybe they're just powerful. They're all hobbits or something, I think, there, so... Alright, I guess I can evolve some symptoms to get this off this place. Let's go ahead and, get some water going on, and some water 2 going on. Let's go. I have successfully evolved beer. Yeah, well, the question is genetic diversity. If you kill enough of the world, there's only 1 million people left. There you go. Norway's got it now. Loss of certitude. I think there's not going to be any loss of certitude tonight. Iceland, 323,000 people. Business as usual. I've infected thousands of people. Thousands of people. So the like, oh, why did that? Oh, okay. I can't do that. All right. Beer is infecting more countries. Wait, why is this black now? What did I do? Sorry. Oh, I broke it. Alright, Seattle's infected, Russia's infected.
Oh, beer evolved nausea? I didn't even pay attention. I should read these things that are popping up at me. I don't want you to have nausea. No symptoms. We're gonna infect the whole freaking world before we have symptoms this time. We're not gonna rush it. It's gonna be fine. We're just gonna infect the whole world. So far, we've infected 327,000 people. That is more than the detected cases of coronavirus. But we haven't killed any yet, see? So no one even knows to look for us. It's perfect. It's the perfect crime. First, infect everyone. Second, magically evolve symptoms. UK votes for Brexit referendum. Boo. Boo. Brexit already happened. Sorry, it sucked. Oh no! Ah! I missed a bubble. But yeah, so overall, I think that coronavirus appears to somehow not be, has not been identified as causing significant infections in Africa yet. It is not clear if that is because, hey, look, I got Iceland, cool. Or Greenland, sorry, I was already in Iceland. It's not clear if there's actual reason for this, but you have to keep in mind with so little testing in so many places, it's not clear, like, whether this is just like it's not going to affect people as much or whatever. So like in a month we'll have a better understanding of so many things. I keep saying I don't know. What I actually do know. What I know is that I think that the US should be doing a ton of investment in like medical surveillance at the moment. We should be buying IR thermometers to deploy at every like subway entrance and highway exit. We should be trying to work to like make it so that we can actually find people who are sick. We should be figuring out and like, you know, people are like, oh well, you can be asymptomatic and spreading this, and it's like, okay, fine, but somehow like South Korea has pulled off like not having that be a problem. Why is that? Like, what are they doing differently? Like, answer that question to me. Like, come back to me and tell me why that is the case. I mean, that's what I really want to know. Like, what about South Korea? Because like China, I mean, look, like China clearly did a bang up job in some cases, but I just can't trust them. But like South Korea is a democracy. It's a democracy that has a system of like testing that we can follow, and we're working on ramping up to that, to be clear. But like our overall like how many people, if they're told like you might be sick, are gonna stay home from work? Like in other countries, like they can do that. Like they have systems for that, and we don't have that here. And it's so. Anyway, hi Van Helsing. So like I don't know. I want us to be better. It continues to be interesting to watch the like overall shift in the what is politically acceptable. Like over the past week, polling on whether we should like pay people who aren't working has gone from like 20% of people think we should do it to 60%. So it's clear that like these things are moving quickly. Madagascar. Okay, so now I got more than 100 points to this stuff. Let's go ahead and get some more transmission going on here. Boom, boom. Get some extreme bioaerosol here, as well as environmental hardening. All right, cool. Alright, so at this rate, I think that it's probably fair to say I'm going to infect the whole planet, and I can stop devolving symptoms. Yeah, Zoom was for singing Happy Birthday. Okay, what do I need to get the US infected? I need drug resistance, probably. And then we can start getting some symptoms up in here.
New minor disease spreading. Yes, minor insofar as it infected 6.5 million people already, but sure, it's minor, no problem. Morocco has started to work on the cure. Good, good. You keep working on that, Morocco. I expect good results from you. Look at that. 250,000 infected in the US. That's right. Take that, US. New Zealand leading global cure effort. I don't think you're gonna make it very far, New Zealand. The beard genome has been fully sequenced. Cool. I'm gonna send you all into comas now. How about that? Hooah. More points. Let's devolve this, yes. Devolve this, yes. Devolve this, yes. Fucking New Zealand, man. Fuck. Oh, right, because nobody in New Zealand was fucking infected. Ah! God damn it. the one, like, look, like, the whole fucking world was infected, and then New Zealand's like, you know what? Fuck you. Beer is becoming scary. Yeah, it is scary. It's killed 426 million people. Like coronavirus, I'm scared of coronavirus killing 90 million people all across the globe. I would say this is scary a lot before then. But apparently because New Zealand fucking led the cure, they got there before me. God damn it. No, I'm not playing pity mode. Fuck you, game. All right. I think I have failed enough. How many people we got watching? I don't know. It's 12. It's 12. It's midnight. It's midnight. We got 16 people watching. It's cider. See, I'm drinking cider. All right, you know what? We're gonna have a new disease. It's gonna be cider. Excuse me. I'm not giving up. We're gonna beat this on normal mode. It's fine. Yes, I can infect the world. Main game. Play. Bacteria. I can't do any of these things. It's fine. Not a problem. Normal. Cider. Alright, where should I start? We got a choice. US. We're gonna start in the US. Sorry, I asked people for a choice, and then I just was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm choosing my own blackjack with liquors and hookers. Hello, Greg. Welcome, welcome. Fuck. Airplanes already installed things to prevent my things from spreading. Fuck you, airplanes. Fuck you. There we go. Now I can infect airplanes again. These airplanes are gonna spread my shit. Huh, huh, huh.
Everyone says start in New Zealand. Look, I started in the US, which is almost New Zealand, except for nothing about it. There's a Goldman Stanley bank crisis. Oh no. Good. Goldman Stanley should have bank errors in my favor. Oh man, this fucking pandemic shit sucks. The world sucks. That's all I gotta say. Like I don't know. I met a new friend via like the burlesque scene in Boston. How are there only 8 people infected? Look, infect more people. Like drugs can do nothing against me. Nobody can research me. I'm resistant to heat. There we go. Now we're gonna infect people faster. Fuck you, Brexit. And I don't even, like, look, I'm so lucky compared to most people. Like, I got no kids in school, so I don't have to deal with, well, Julie's in community college classes, but, like, I don't have to deal with, like, the kids getting forced to come home from school early. I don't have to deal with, like, I don't have to deal with losing my job. I just work from home. I'm already on a remote team. Like, my life is so easy compared to most people. Hi, what's up? What? What's up? One second. Go ahead.
We're falling asleep.
Cider infects hundreds. Lynn says hi.
My best tour, but I was planning on checking in on you once I got in the tub.
Okay, well. Close the door. What are you doing? Leave the door open. Noisy. Noisy when I'm drunk. Anyway, yeah, I just, U.S. is so sad. Infect cruise ships. Water transmission. Oh, we're gonna be everywhere. What? Yeah. This is Julie. She's waving. She's also washing, like, as she's waving, so. Are you just watching the street?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to figure out how to support TVCs in our office. Like we're continuing to lay people off. This is what we always do. And I'm just like, it sucks. Oh no, I missed. Ah! Oh yeah, it's because I'm like sitting back and not talking loudly anymore. Sorry. All right, good. Infect Canada. We got 500,000 people infected. Look at that. Look at those numbers go up. Unfortunately, it's not going to go up very far because it's only in a couple of countries, but it's fine. Okay. Yeah, no, it's right here. Hello. Hello. I'm the Chris Who Plays Games. Welcome to your CPG stream of the evening. Alright, more infectious than tuberculosis. So tuberculosis only infected 10 million people? That's less than I would have expected. Missed a bubble. Alrighty. I got this, I got that. No symptoms. We're gonna infect everybody. Plague ASMR. Social distancing. Social distancing ASMR. Hello, I'm the Chris Who Plays Games. This is your social distancing ASMR.
Thank you for coming this evening. Thank you for enjoying my birthday with me. I'm 36 years old now. 36. That's 2 to the 6th. Nope. 6 to the tooth. 6 to the 2nd. I think it's okay if the only person who touches my microphone is me, for me to touch my microphone. Actually, so I brought my Blue Yeti mic to the office, and it disappeared. Not really sure where it is. So I'm using this other mic that I actually bought. I had a Chinese company email me. They're like, we will send you we'll buy you and send you a review copy of this or whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm not actually sure I'm going to review it, but I'll just buy it. And I bought it. It's like $25. But it's been good because for the past few weeks, obviously, I've been doing these more meetings at home, and I actually have a mic, which I did not have for a little while. So, yeah, it's good. It's good to have something. I don't know if I actually sound any better or worse than an average, person talking through their laptop microphone, because I had never really listened to what I sound like, but I'm hoping. Alright, we got 2 million infected. More infections than the common cold. I don't think I have coronavirus. I've really been, like, other than going out today for groceries, I've been really, really good about not going out and being around people, not interacting with the rest of the world. And I did it earlier than most people. I think realistically, I've done some math, and the indication is probably that Massachusetts' testing rate, no symptoms. I said no symptoms. Cannot do this. Get some more transmission going on here. Get some mosquitoes so we cover all of Africa. As well as some blood, rodents, birds. I would say you are an international treasure. But yeah, today was my first day. My first day at the grocery store in a while. Protesters claim mystery plague is real. Shit. No insomnia. Cannot find the mystery plague. No! Mystery plague is not real. It's been named cider. That's not fair. That's what I called it. Okay. Get some cold hardening up in here. Alright. USA starts work on cure, but they're not going to work very hard on it. Here's the trick. Even though everybody has it, nobody cares about something that doesn't kill you. So 316 million people have it, but they don't care. Yeah, a dangerous strain could occur. It's true. Yeah, I need to get back into cooking. That's definitely something I'm gonna need to do. I've been tired. Okay, now it has coughing. Coughing is probably fine. No one's gonna spend $1 bajillion researching a cough, right? Okay, so I think everyone's infected now. There's no healthy people left in the world. Excellent. So now I can make it kill you all. Canada's leading the global cure effort. First death in Spain. Pop the cure. Fight the cure. New Zealand shuts down airports. That would have been a smart move a while ago. Killed 192 people. Killed more than Spanish flu. Brazil begins to break down. Look at how fast people are dying. I'm killing 200 million people a day. Your cure will not defeat me. Nice try. I have destroyed your scientists. I have murdered them all. I didn't need to check NZ this time. It's fine. It told me that everyone was dead or impacted. Wow, I have a bunch of like, I can make it even more deadly. Look at this. Pulmonary edema, pneumonia. It's good. Did it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I have killed everyone. I've killed everyone. Cider to eradicate humans. Cider has successfully eradicated all life on Earth. Did it. 1433 days. Look. All life on Earth is an exaggeration. It really means all human life. It's fine. Okay, so now I can play as a virus, a rapidly mutating pathogen which is extremely hard to control. Alright. Go ahead and add ionized helix. An ATP boost. So here's the reality, right? Like, the claim is that on casual mode, no one washes their hands, research doctors don't work, and sick people are given hugs. Like, 2 of the 3 of those things are actually true in the world. Like, 2/3 of people do not wash their hands. Like, compulsive hand washing, never gonna happen. Even now, only like 2/3 of people wash their hands. Like, this is a world of a fucking pandemic is normal. So we're gonna play on casual. This is not PAX 12. This is coronavirus, baby. I mean, sorry. SARS-CoV-2. To be clear, I think Jess was saying goodnight to Fiendish and is not yet going to bed. SARS-CoV-2 is a virus. We're going to start in New Zealand. Yeah, so oh, this is a virus now. Yeah, I was in a bacteria before, but now I've unlocked viruses. So now we're back in virus land. So the key problem with viruses, right? So plague type virus, the key difficulty with viruses is that like devolving symptoms will actually cost me points rather than gaining me points. So I can't just like be like, oh cool, I'm gonna, devolve the things I don't care about like I used to be able to. Now I have to get this thing moving as quickly as possible, so I can get the entire world infected before it evolves to kill people. Plague Inc. is a hyper-realistic model of the world. I mean, it's a somewhat realistic model of the world. It's not hyper-realistic.
Medicine is slowing infection. Well, maybe it shouldn't. How about we make it drug resistant? How about that? Drug resistance 1. Boom shakalaka. I am more powerful than you stupid virus. You stupid virus. Take care, AWOL. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. I made my cheers. Thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. Coughing symptom. Yeah, so here's the problem, right? Like, coughing increases its transmissivity, but if I wanted to take coughing away, it costs me points. So I'm really just going to leave it. I'm going to hope that people don't investigate coughing, because coughing is a pretty common thing. You know, like, people cough. It's alright. Alright, so we got 217 infected. Canadians are doing some shit, because that's what they do. Alright, let's get this party started. Go ahead and involve some more transmission-ness. Hello, Paul's Plays, thanks so much. Now it's got a rash and coughing. So if I got infect a rash and coughing is a weird combination. Like, you don't really think of like, oh yeah, I have a rash and I'm coughing. All right, New Guinea. We got people in New Guinea. Yeah, but I'm just like, now they do, but I don't know. Oh. Oh, we've infected Saudi Arabia. Good job, SARS-CoV-2. No, I don't want you to have anemia. That's like serious. People are gonna fucking notice that. Ah, they found it. Alright, at least it's in the US, the UK, India. New Zealand's starting to work on the cure. Presumably they're not going to work very quickly, but let's go ahead and get this moving as quickly as we can. SARS-CoV-2 Awareness Day. SARS-CoV-2 awareness. Ah, sweating? Seriously? Oh, people are gonna fucking notice. They've got coughing, rashes, sweating. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jesus Christ. All of a sudden it's like, hi, we're everywhere now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Christ. I didn't even do anything. Like, what's up with the massive number of bubbles there? I don't understand. Spring break, that's right. This is like when all those people fly home from Florida. Man, alright, it's fine. It's good. Doing well. Hey, we got Greenland. I think we got all the countries. Okay, we got a couple of blue things left.
Morocco is pretty serious, but seems like it's being infected faster than it's dying, so it's alright. Alright, I think I can kill people now. What do you think? I think I can. Yeah, overall it seems like Antarctica is pretty good at avoiding these things. The coronavirus is the only continent coronavirus isn't on is also Antarctica. So. Oh. Okay, we got some skin lesions. Sweden. Alright, we got 500,000 infected in Sweden at this point. I think we're probably okay. Alright, cool. So now it's sufficiently infectious that we can probably evolve everything that kills people. Got seizures, insanity. Insanity slows down research, so that's good. Dysentery, inflammation, pulmonary edema. Wow, smallpox killed hundreds of millions of people. No healthy people left. Woohoo! $1.7 billion. Global research. I feel like by the time you've killed 2 billion people, someone should have figured out to focus global research on this before that. Like, 2 billion people is a fucking lot. But it's fine. I'm gonna kill all these people. It's gonna take me like no time at all. Look at this. Look how fast I'm killing people. Turkey's in anarchy. I have like 82 whole extra points, and I've already killed like only 1.5 billion left. I'm gonna kill you all. That's right. I'm gonna have some abscesses, systemic infections, tumors. Oh man, this is the worst disease ever. Alright. Killing 50 million people a day. Ooh yeah. Speed this up. We're gonna eradicate humans. Done. 558 days. 2 years. 2 years. That's all it took to kill everybody on the planet. 2 years. I won. That's right. All right. I think with all my might, all my heart. I think that's it. 12:30 in the morning. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I'm happy to have a birthday party that's the same as pretty much my, like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years now. Like this is my fifth birthday party on YouTube. So I appreciate you all keeping me company, being here with me, singing and enjoying birthday cake and everything else. It's really been great. No Super Mario Brothers 3. I just played Super Mario Brothers. So I played Super Mario Brothers in a stream that I did on stream not too long ago. So I appreciate you all being here. If you are interested in hanging out with me in general, I've actually been talking a lot of my analysis and research on COVID in my Discord. There's a link in the description below. I have been continuing to, of course, work at Google and fight for the rights of all the folks that are out there. I love all of you. It was good to see you. I'm also trying to figure out if I should be doing something live related to my CCTV, my community access show, especially since I think the studio is going to be closed for the next couple months. So if you are interested in seeing that as a live show, I'd be interested to know your thoughts. So I'm probably going to have to pre-record my shows. I'm considering like broadcasting that. So again, if you are interested in seeing that, my channel is here.
and hit that subscribe button if you want. I may be doing some live streams there, but oh, it says the invite's expired? That's weird. Okay, hold on, let me fix that. I thought I made it permanent. Let's hold on. Plus, cancel, create invite. Your invite link will never expire. Copy. Okay, so what happens if I click this? Okay, so that seems to work. I am editing the description as we speak to no longer have what is potentially a broken Discord link. But yeah, so I think that's my Discord link. Hop on there if you want to keep in touch with me. That's my primary place for my own like mental health these days. So that's the place to be. Other than that, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Happy birthday to me, and you all have a good night. It really means a lot to have people continue to kind of hang out, be friends, and maybe I'll set up something weekly where we can kind of chat in Zoom or something like that to keep in touch, because we're all going to be struggling with social distance for a while. So thank you all. Thank you. I will drink water after I get after I get off stream. Thank you for the reminder. Other than that, I've already canceled all of my plans for Saturday, so I'll just be sleeping through tomorrow. So thanks. Have a good night. I'm the Chris who plays games. See you later. Bye-bye.